What's up, everybody? Just another run out here. Tuesday, getting it in Tuesday. Did a 2.25 mile run, 8:30 split. Same old, getting it done. Keep hammering. Cam Hanes. So, go check him out on Instagram. Dude's a beast. So, got her done. One thing I want to talk about today is in life. No matter your belief systems or anything beyond that, but things happen, right? Positives, the negatives, good, bad, ugly, beautiful, all across the board. Things are going to happen every day. Even on your most boring day, you might have something pop up out of nowhere that catches you off guard and might make you uncomfortable, or it might do the opposite. You really don't know. But one thing I do know is that oftentimes when we think about the things in our life that are bad and we focus on them, we have this ability to make it worse than it really is. And what I mean by that is oftentimes if you treat things in life like it's ripping off a Band-Aid, you're going to realize that if you just attack it and you deal with it and you take it head on, it's not nearly as bad as it would be otherwise. If you slowly pull at the Band-Aid and you slowly peel it away, you're going to feel every millisecond of pain that goes into that. But if you just rip it off and you take it all off at once, well, sure, is that a quick pinch of pain? Maybe. But guess what? It's only a quick pinch. It's not this long, drawn-out thing. Not everything in life has to be that way. You don't need to draw everything out to be bad or negative or to be painful. Sometimes you just got to rip off the Band-Aid. And that goes with anything in life. I like generalizing my terms because most things have a universal acceptance of meaning. And that's just it's a stone cold fact. And whether it has to do with, a divorce or, has to do with a problem that you're dealing with, maybe with a coworker, or, your own life and the way you see yourself when you look in a mirror, whatever it is, whatever that problem is or the thing that's eating away at you, look at it, stare it straight in the face, and rip it off like a Band-Aid. And whatever you got to do to make that happen, do it. Because the sooner you get there, the sooner you see the other side. And the more you realize it's not that painful. And the more you realize, the more pain you can tolerate in life. The more shit you can deal with. And deal with it in a positive light, not in a negative way. Because a lot of people deal with things in a negative way. They overeat. They drink. They do drugs. And sometimes you'll see things even worse. People will try to take their own life. People will, ruin other people's lives. They don't do it in a proper way. Okay. Yeah, 38-minute walking mile. Funny. That's real funny. I guess I forgot to hit pause once upon a time. But anyways, when you're dealing with these things, you need to see them for what they are. Sure. And does it suck most of the time? Yes. And is it going to hurt? Yes. Like I said, correct. But if you learn how to cope better, use better coping mechanisms, that can go a long way in the short term and long term. But also, if you learn how to, basically the idea is compartmentalize the situation and what you're dealing with in life and separate it from who you are as a being and what you believe in and who you want to be. And you can just take a problem and instead of making it ruin your life or ruin your day or ruin anything else, separate those things. Don't make the problem about you. Don't make the problem interior. It's an exterior thing. It's an exterior component and something that you can do something about. Now, not everything in life is controllable, and I understand that. That's why you also have to have a separate section for those things. The controllable and the uncontrollable. Things you can't control in life, like COVID-19. You can't control what other people do in faraway lands, whether it causes a virus or not. You can't control that. You really can't. And anybody who thinks they can is kind of absurd. But, you know, things you can control. You can control the food you eat every day, the food that fuels you and your body, and often has, especially short-term or long-term, a good deal of how you feel and what you look like, and all sorts of different things, affecting chemical reactions in your body, affecting your digestive system, affecting your sugars, your everything across the whole 9 yards. And that's just simple stuff to understand. You can control that. You can control your activity. Are you sitting down all day, staying sedentary? And I know a lot of people have jobs that are sedentary and they have to, provide for their families and do those things. But, maybe make it a practice that every hour on the hour you get up, you stretch a little bit, you get your muscles pulled away a little bit, you get your blood flowing a little. Do 10 push-ups, do a couple jumping jacks just to get your body moving, just to get stop being so stiff, And then what are you doing outside of work? Are you, after your work day, are you going home? Are you just sitting down on the couch watching Netflix for 6 hours straight? Well, your body's not going to thank you very much for that. It's going to feel pretty harsh. And time out, I need to show you guys the moon quick. I know it doesn't show too well on here, but it's like a reddish color, almost kind of like a Mars color. Pretty beautiful. Anyhow, when you do go home and you do that, after an 8-hour workday of sitting in a chair in front of a computer, and you go home and you do another 6 hours in front of the TV, and your body's hunched over like this. Oh, you're hunched over all day, all the time. Eventually, that's going to catch up with you. You're going to get locked up in your lower back. Your shoulders are going to roll forward real hard. Your neck's going to be cranked all the time. And you're going to wake up every day wondering, oh my God, why am I hurting like this? Why do I feel like this? You're going to feel older than you are. Plain and simple. So what I say is do something about it. That's a controllable aspect. And you don't need to quit your day job. Nobody's asking you to do anything crazy, but change some of the things in between that you can control. And I guarantee you will have a better outcome. Plain and simple. Now, what are other controllable aspects? Okay. Now, I said before, an uncontrollable thing is COVID-19 happening. It becoming prevalent, right? Now it's across the board. Now, I saw today, I'm a fellow fisherman. I like fishing. And I thought PA was opening their fishing day as of the 18th for adults, but apparently it happened today. I don't know how or what, but I saw it on a post, and it legitimately did happen today. So, interesting enough, what I was not surprised by, which is sad to say, is you would think during a pandemic like this, people would distance. People would, spread themselves, stay away from each other. That wasn't the case. Maybe, I'm not saying everybody, not everybody, because, maybe this was the outlier, I don't know. But nonetheless, it happened. Folks were shoulder to shoulder fishing. People who didn't know each other. That can't happen, man. We got to be better than that. And I'm not saying humanity needs to be perfect. We're far from it. And the day we become perfect is the day that we're all robotic or some other, advanced species. We're no longer human. Part of our being human is the imperfections that we all have. And I think that is, it's a good thing to have. in a way, because it teaches us lessons. But, you know, when it comes to something like this, we got to be smarter as a species, man. Like, you know, this is how things chain reaction and mutate and how people die, you know? Can't be silly about it. Use common sense, you know? It's the CDC saying 6 feet apart. Keep 6 feet apart, man. It's not hard. 6 feet's not even that far. You should be further than that if you want to play it right, you know? You can't complain about things in life that happen to you when you set yourself up for disaster. You just can't. Period. Man, it's just, it blows my mind sometimes, but, you know, people learn the hard way, but it's going to come at a cost, and that's the sad thing. So maybe, you know, maybe that'll change. Maybe people will, I'd love to be, I'm an optimist. I'm optimistic. I try to be, but I'm also a realist. And I don't see it happening. I don't see people being logical. There's a lot of goofy people out there. A lot of people without level heads. And, you know, it's a sad thing. Because this is why things like this happen. So, for those of you who do have common sense and do use logic on a daily basis, I'm sure you're already doing the right things. But hopefully we can turn the tables on this and turn people's minds over, and maybe they'll follow suit and stop acting silly and putting other people's lives at risk because they think they're invincible, which they're not. Sorry to tell you, but you're not Thanos, bro. I don't know what to tell you. You're not like this incredible being. You're as fragile as anybody. And I think when people have direct contact with adversity in life and health issues, and they see it, they have more of a respect for it. And when it touches you close, that's often when people become the most sensitive about it. So I'm assuming a lot of these people, their case is that they have nobody immediately close to them that's dealing with this, and those are the same people who are saying it's a hoax. Whatever you want to say. Silly. It doesn't matter your political party. It doesn't matter, you know, who you align with. It's like the same people who sit on Twitter for 12 to 14 hours a day arguing about how Trump's this, or, you know, or the Democrats are that, Fox News this, and CNN that. Come on, man. First of all, we're dealing with a global pandemic. And you're worrying about political parties. Sure, big picture, I get it. But fuck right off, mate. Fuck right off. We have bigger things to deal with right now immediately. And I get, you know, people want to make power grabs. People want to make plays right now. It's the time to do it, right? But seriously, it's sad. It's sad that we live in a time where that's considered not unusual. It's almost expected. And goofy stuff, man. Silly. And, you know, but anyway, people who sit there online and bash these people daily, all day, you know, it is what it is. But unfortunately, that's the reality. All right, boss. Just waved at this guy and just fucking straight up looked at me as I waved to him and fucking kept right on walking. Said, fuck you, Keith. Alright, no problem. Anyhow, back to the Twitter shit. Yeah, people really need to chill the fuck out, you know? Turn on some lights here, that way you guys can see my face. Decided to come in from the walk. Put a lot of miles on these legs today. But, yeah, man, like, what the fuck? These are the people I'm kind of talking about. What are you doing all day? When you have all day, you're not working clearly. You're not essential clearly. And you're clearly not, you know, dealing with COVID-19. So what are you doing? You're sitting on Twitter causing a ruckus. You're not making real change. All you're doing is pissing people off. You're probably pissing yourself off by reading all the shit you're reading. What are people doing? You know? Go enjoy the real world while you have it. You know, technology's not going anywhere. And the only time it's going to completely go away is if we get some sort of solar flare and, the power grid goes down or something like that. And once that happens, it's all over anyway. Everybody's screwed. It doesn't matter. It's going to be a free-for-all. But, while you have the time now, enjoy the outdoors. Go find a hobby. Walk your dog. I don't know. But it's better than sitting there on Twitter, getting yourself worked up and working other people up over some shit that isn't affecting you whatsoever. You're just bad-mouthing people to bad-mouth them because you have some sort of odd allegiance to a group that does not give a fuck about you. They don't care. If you think the Democrat Party cares about Joe Schmo from Indiana, he doesn't. They don't care. They do not care about you. They care about themselves. They care about power. They care about filling their pockets and their friends' pockets. And it's on the same way on both sides of the spectrum. Plain and simple. There is no secret about it. The secret's out. It's been for a long time. This is not new. So the idea that, you have these, pure people that you're trying to have represent your party or whatever, it's just not happening. Plain and simple. The Democrat Party, they want to throw Joe Biden to Trump. What are you doing? The man can't even speak in English anymore. He can't even hold a conversation, it seems, without slipping up. I mean, the poor man needs help. And the Democratic Party would rather bury a guy like Bernie Sanders than allow somebody who is at least competent now. I know Bernie's an old man too, but at least he's there in the head and he can speak clearly. And then you have folks like the Democratic Party. They're all about being, democratic and being about diversity and all that, and being progressive and all that good stuff, right? But then you have a candidate like Tulsi Gabbard, who is former military. She's not fully Caucasian. She's a person of color, right? So you have that. She's Democratic. And you have all these things going for you. She's a woman. She would be the first woman, and that's a big thing in the Democratic Party, that they want to push. Yet, they buried her in the primaries. They buried her. They didn't give her any screen time. They didn't want anything to do with her. And you know why? It's because she wasn't following suit, right? Maybe that's why. I don't know. I'm not there, but that's what I kind of see. They buried people like Andrew Yang. They buried people like Tulsi Gabbard. They buried people, you know what I'm saying? You see kind of, they buried Bernie. They buried him against Hillary. That was clear as day. That secret's come out too. The Democratic Party's corrupt, and the Republican Party, sure, I'm sure it's corrupt as well. They play it a little different on their side, but, they hated Trump. That was clear as day too. But at least, he won in a fair, square way, and they at least backed him. At least they had some sort of allegiance there. But they're all crooked too. Everybody's crooked. They're all crooked. You know what I mean? It's not a secret. So that's why I'm saying I don't understand why people pledge their lives to folks who are, they don't even know you at all. Period. They're not doing anything special for you. They don't know who you are, and they never will. So that's why I don't understand why everyday normal people who, especially if you live in a small town or small area, why you're worried about it. Why you're worried about all that crap, all the noise. Vote, sure. Vote, have your opinions, but to go online and beef with people and have these absurd interactions that consume you it's unfortunate, and your time could be way better spent for yourself, for your headspace, doing other things, So, I guess I ranted a little bit. So, there's that. And yeah, I mean, just keep on going, guys. Try to find something to do if you haven't already. Try to stay active, try to stay busy, and, enjoy this opportunity, because this is an opportunity to be able to do things you haven't done. And that's going to be something I keep reiterating. And for those of you who are into MMA, I saw yesterday that the Tony and Gaethje, Tony Ferguson and I'm drawing a blank, but Gaethje, Justin Gaethje, there we go. That fight is supposedly on, and rumor has it it's going to be on a private island. Dana White is a legend if he pulls this off, and the card is absolutely stacked. So if this happens, wow. I don't know what the numbers are going to look like pay-per-view wise. I'm hearing the price point's still at $70. That's a lot for people during a time of most people, your average American, has lost income in some sort of way or fashion. They completely have lost it or lost partial. So that's a lot of money in this climate, but I'm going to be buying it. I know that for sure. I look forward to it, and I pray that it happens. I really do. I know there's a lot of people pissed off about it, and they're saying, oh, they're being greedy, yada, yada, yada. Honest to God, I don't know about you, but a lot of people in this world love sports, and sports is something that helps them. It's a coping mechanism, as I was talking about earlier. It's something that gets them away from their everyday life and the struggles, and something they can enjoy for a couple hours. And, I'm one of those people. I love sports. I do. I enjoy them. I enjoy being active, and MMA is something I'm passionate about, and UFC especially I follow closely, so I'm super stoked for this to happen. I really hope it comes together. And if it doesn't, it doesn't. But, anything is better than nothing at this point, so I will take it. And as far as I'm aware, their plan is to have extraordinary precautions going through. Like, all the fighters will be tested, all the people will be tested prior to everything for COVID-19. So it seems like a logistical nightmare for anybody, but if Dana White pulls it off, kudos to him. So looking forward to that. I'm going to end my talk because I'm here coming up on 20-some minutes. So check out my YouTube channel, guys. I'm posting this on there. It's going to be on IG. I'm still working on some other outlets, so stay tuned. Hey, I love y'all. I love you if you love me. I love you if you hate me. So just keep on going. I'm out. Keats out. Have a great day.